Hello learners, welcome back on the class of Introduction to Solid Mechanics. So I hope you all are safe. So in the previous discussion we have seen the about the thin cylinder, and before that I have discussed the types of pressure vessels. So I told you there are two types of pressure vessel. One is thin pressure vessel and the second one is thick pressure vessel. In thin pressure vessel we have seen the thickness is less than equal to 1 by 10 to 1 by 15 times the diameter, and in thick pressure vessel thickness is greater than 1 by 10 to 1 by 15 times the diameter of pressure vessel. After that I have discussed about the thin pressure vessels. So in thin pressure vessel we have discussed about the longitudinal stress, hoop stress and radial stress, and after that we have derived the expression of longitudinal stress, and that is equal to PD by 40, where P is the internal fluid pressure and D is the internal diameter and T is the thickness. Similarly, I have derived the expression of hoop stress, that is PD by 2T. And after that I have discussed radial stress, and I told you that the magnitude of radial stress as compared to the longitudinal stress and hoop stress is very much less. That's why in the analysis of thin and sphere we neglect the value of radial stress. So today I am going to discuss the magnitude of maximum shear stress when our longitudinal stress and hoop stress exist, in the second case when longitudinal stress and radial stress exist, and in the third case when hoop stress and radial stress exist, and I will tell you the absolute about the maximum absolute shear stress. And after that I will discuss thin pressure vessel, after that I will discuss about the some problems related to the longitudinal and hoop stress. Today I am going to discuss about the magnitude of maximum shear stress. So for this I will take three cases. In the first case when hoop stress and longitudinal stress will exist, and in the second case when longitudinal stress and radial stress will exist, and in the third case when hoop stress and radial stress will exist, and we will see the magnitude of maximum shear stress. Before that I have shown the direction of longitudinal stress, hoop stress and radial stress, and as I told you that the nature of hoop stress and the radial stress is tensile in nature, and the magnitude of radial stress, the nature of radial stress will be compressive in nature. First case first, when sigma h hoop stress and longitudinal stress are considered as major and minor principal stress. Why sigma h is the major? Because the magnitude of sigma h we know, P into D divided by 2T, and the magnitude of longitudinal stress is P into capital D by 4T. So the magnitude of hoop stress is greater than the longitudinal stress in case of thin cylinder. That's why this value will be the major principal stress and this value will be the minor principal stress. So if I draw the Mohr circle for this, so when major and minor principal stress will exist, so this value is major principal stress and this value is minor principal stress, and the maximum shear stress is itself the radius of the Mohr circle, and the Mohr circle is the graphical representation between the shear stress and normal stress. So we know that maximum shear stress, that will be the radius of the Mohr circle, is the major principal stress minus minor principal stress divided by 2. Sigma P1 is the major principal stress and sigma P2 the minor principal stress, and the major principal stress is here hoop stress, and the minor principal stress is the longitudinal stress. We have already derived the expression of hoop stress in the previous class, PD by 2T minus PD by 4T divided by 2, it is coming PD by 8 into T, maximum shear stress. Case second or B case, when longitudinal stress and radial stress are considered. So here expression of longitudinal stress is P into D divided by 2T, and the magnitude of radial stress in case of thin cylinder is approximately equal to 0. As I told you earlier that the magnitude of radial stress is very less as compared to the longitudinal stress and hoop stress, that's why it is taken as 0. So maximum shear stress, major principal stress. So here the major principal stress is PD by 2T and minor principal stress is radial stress, minus sigma r divided by 2. PD by 2T minus 0 divided by 2. So it is PD by 4T. Sorry, PD by 4T. Longitudinal stress is PD by 4T. Here PD by 8T. The maximum shear stress is PD by 8T. So it is same as the earlier case. Third case, when hoop stress and radial stress are considered. So here major principal stress is sigma h is equal to PD by 2T, and minor principal stress, that will be the radial stress, is equal to 0. So if I compute the value of maximum shear stress, so the maximum shear stress is equal to sigma h minus sigma r divided by 2. So it is coming PD by 2T minus 0 divided by 2. So P into D divided by 4T will be the maximum shear stress. And in three cases, the maximum shear stress magnitude even we have considered the hoop stress and radial stress. So this value is called absolute maximum shear stress. Of course, in case A and case B, maximum shear stress is PD by 8T and PD by 8T, but the absolute means the maximum value out of these three values. So the maximum value will be called absolute maximum shear stress. Now I am going to discuss analysis of thin sphere. So in thin sphere, the fact is that both the longitudinal stress and hoop stress will be same and the magnitude will be PD by 4T. So if I draw, this is the thin sphere, this value is hoop stress, and internal fluid pressure is P. Let D be the internal diameter and T is the thickness of a sphere. So in case of thin sphere, magnitude of longitudinal stress will be same as hoop stress, and the magnitude of hoop stress is equal to longitudinal stress is equal to PD by 4T. So that is different from the whatever we have studied in the thin cylinder, the magnitude of longitudinal stress in that case is PD by 4T, but the magnitude of hoop stress was PD by 2T. But in the thin sphere, it is reverse. If I compute the value of longitudinal stress for the above free body diagram, so for free body diagram, we know that bursting force is equal to P into pi by 4 d square, and similarly resisting force is equal to sigma h into pi into d into t. So from the static equilibrium, bursting force should be equal to the resisting force. Bursting force is internal fluid pressure into pi by 4 d square is equal to hoop stress into pi into d into t. So the hoop stress is equal to longitudinal stress is equal to PD by 4T. The magnitude of hoop stress and longitudinal stress will be same. So if I compute the value of hoop strain and longitudinal strain, then let epsilon h be the hoop strain and epsilon L be the longitudinal strain. So the magnitude of these two will be same. Epsilon h is equal to epsilon L is equal to sigma h by E minus nu times sigma L by E, or sigma L by E minus nu times sigma h by E, but the magnitude of sigma h and sigma L is same, so the expression of hoop strain and longitudinal strain will be same, and the magnitude is coming PD by 4 TE 1 minus nu. If I am interested to compute the value of volumetric strain, so we know the volume of the sphere is pi by 6 into dq. So differentiate delta V partial derivative 3 times pi by 6 into d square into delta d. So delta V by V is equal to epsilon V is equal to 3 times delta d by d. So here in case of thin sphere, volumetric strain is equal to 3 times the hoop strain. In case of thin cylinder, we have seen the volumetric strain is 2 times epsilon h plus epsilon L. So epsilon V is equal to 3 times 3 PD divided by 4 TE into 1 minus nu, where nu is the Poisson's ratio, P is the internal fluid pressure, D is the internal diameter, P is the thickness, and E is the Young's modulus of elasticity. Similarly, maximum shear stress, if I am interested to compute in case of thin sphere, so the first case, when hoop stress and radial stress are considered. So magnitude of hoop stress is PD by 4T and the magnitude of radial stress is 0. So major principal stress is hoop stress and minor principal stress is radial stress. So the maximum shear stress is the major principal stress minus minor principal stress divided by 2. So PD by 4T minus 0 divided by 2. Maximum shear stress is coming PD by 8T. Case 2, when sigma h and sigma L are considered. So maximum shear stress is hoop stress minus longitudinal stress by 2, so it is 0. And the third case, when longitudinal stress and radial stress are considered, so the maximum shear stress is the major principal stress minus minor principal stress divided by 2. So PD by 4T minus 0 divided by 2. So the maximum shear stress is coming PD by 8T. So here we have seen the maximum shear stress is coming in two cases, that is PD by 8T and PD by 8T. So that will be the absolute maximum shear stress, and that will be also absolute maximum shear stress. So I am going to take one problem. With the help of that we can easily understand. A cylindrical shell 0.8 meter in diameter and 3 meter long is having 10 mm wall thickness. If the shell is subjected to an internal pressure of 2.5 Newton per mm square, determine. The first part is change in diameter, second part is change in length, and the third part is change in volume. So this is the case of thin cylinder in which we have to compute the three parameters: change in diameter, change in length, and change in volume. So we know the change in diameter, so responsible is hoop stress. For the change in length, it is responsible for the longitudinal stress, and third part is change in volume. So once we have computed the value of volumetric strain, so volumetric strain is change in volume by original volume. With the help of that we can compute the change in volume. So before that we have to compute the value of hoop stress and longitudinal stress. Given thickness is given 10 mm, diameter of the cell is given 800 mm, 0.8 meter means 800 mm, internal pressure P is equal to 2.5 Newton per mm square, hoop stress sigma h is equal to P into D divided by 2T. 2.5 into diameter is 800 mm divided by 2 into 10. Hoop stress is coming 100 Newton per mm square. Similarly, longitudinal stress sigma L is equal to PD by 4T. So we can also write 1 by 2 times P into D divided by 2T. 1 by 2 and PD by 2T is the hoop stress, and the magnitude we have already computed. So it is 50 Newton per mm square, or conventionally once you put the value of internal fluid pressure, diameter and thickness, same thing you will get. We have computed the value of hoop stress and longitudinal stress. So the expression of hoop strain, let epsilon h be the hoop strain. We know the expression of hoop strain, that is equal to sigma h by E minus nu times sigma L by E. Everything is given. 1 by Young's modulus of elasticity is 200, so it is 2 into 10 to the power 5 Newton per mm square. Sigma h is 100 minus Poisson's ratio is 0.25 into 50. So the hoop strain is coming 4.375 into 10 to the power minus 4. Similarly, longitudinal strain can also be computed. Longitudinal strain epsilon L is equal to sigma L by E minus nu times sigma h by E. 1 by 2 into 10 to the power 5. Sigma L is 50 minus 0.25 times 100. So it is coming 1.25 into 10 to the power minus 4. We know the volumetric strain epsilon B. Let epsilon B be the volumetric strain, and in case of thin cylinder, volumetric strain is equal to 2 times hoop strain plus longitudinal strain. Volumetric strain can be computed as 2 into 4.375 into 10 to the power minus 4 plus 1.25 into 10 to the power minus 4. The volumetric strain is coming 10 into 10 to the power minus 4, that is 1 into 10 to the power minus 3. As I told you earlier that changing in diameter is responsible for the hoop strain. So hoop strain epsilon h is equal to increase in diameter या change in या increase in diameter divided by original diameter. Hoop strain is given 4.375 into 10 to the power minus 5 is equal to increase in diameter divided by original diameter is 800 mm. So here increase in diameter can be computed. Increase in diameter is equal to 4.375 into 800 into 10 to the power minus 4. Similarly, longitudinal strain is equal to increase in length by original length. Original length. So increase in length is equal to longitudinal strain into original length, and longitudinal strain we have computed 1.25 into 10 to the power minus 4 into length is given 3 meter. So once I converted in mm, so 3000 mm, so it is coming 0.375 mm. This value is coming 0.35 mm. Once we have computed the value of volumetric strain is equal to increase in volume by original volume. Original volume can be computed as pi by 4 d square into L. Pi by 4 into 800 square into 3000. So it is coming 1.1507 into 10 to the power 6 mm cube. Volumetric strain we have already computed. Volumetric strain is equal to increase in volume divided by original volume. So here increase in volume is equal to volumetric strain into original volume. Volumetric strain we have already computed. 1 into 10 to the power minus 3 into original volume is 1507 into 10 to the power 6. So it is coming 1507 into 10 to the power 3 mm cube. So here we have computed all the three parameters. So dear student, today we have seen about the maximum shear stress in case of thin cylinder and absolute maximum shear stress. Expression of absolute maximum shear stress we have seen in case of thin cylinder, and after that I have discussed the thin sphere. So in the thin cylinder the maximum shear stress we have taken three cases. In the first case, longitudinal stress and radial stress will exist. In that case, maximum shear stress is PD by 80. Once we have taken the value of hoop stress and radial stress, so it is coming PD by 40. And when hoop stress and longitudinal stress is taken, then the maximum shear stress is PD by 80. So out of three cases, the maximum magnitude of shear stress is PD by 40. So that is also called the absolute maximum shear stress. After that, I have discussed about the thin sphere. So in thin sphere, we have seen the magnitude of longitudinal stress is exactly equal to the hoop stress, and that the value is PD by 40. And in case of thin sphere, we have computed the value of longitudinal strain, and that will be the equal to the hoop strain, and the volumetric strain is the 3 times the hoop strain. And after that, we have seen the magnitude of maximum shear stress. Similarly, we have taken three cases. The first case when longitudinal stress and radial stress are considered. Second case when hoop stress and radial stress will be considered. And in the third case when longitudinal stress and longitudinal stress and shear stress, hoop stress is considered. In thin sphere case, we have seen the maximum shear stress is coming PD by 80, and that will be the absolute value of maximum shear stress. So in the subsequent class, I will discuss about the thick cylinder, and in the thick cylinder, I will discuss what is Lami's theory. So take care of your health and happy learning.